So a two-dimensional array is really easy to code. It's going to have two dimensions. So it's going to have some rows and some columns. And this particular array has 2 rows and 4 columns. And because we always start our numbering at 0, the rows are going to go from 0 to 1, and the columns are going to go from 0 to 3. So when I declare it, I often put a row and a column variable. And that's because unlike the one-dimensional arrays that have an a dot length, the two-dimensional arrays don't have that. So I always make them. So we have 2 rows and 4 columns. Then, when we declare it, we have one set of brackets for the rows and one set of brackets for the columns. Then we put row and column inside the brackets here. You could also put 2 and 4 in here. That would work just fine. So when we're placing things in a two-dimensional array, one of the things that students find really confusing is that we always put rows first and then columns second. And that's really annoying because that's backwards to the XY coordinates that you're used to from math. So just be ready, always mentally think row and then column. So the first one, we're going to first go to the 0th row and then the 0th column. So that's right here. So the thing that's in that spot is a turtle. Okay, so let's go to the first row and the first column, also a turtle. So now we're going to go to the first row, which is here, and the third spot, which is here. And I think that's a hedgehog? Maybe a squirrel? I don't know. Anyway, so then we're going to go to the 0th row and the 4th column, and that's a train wreck. So that is an error. That's off the end of the array. It doesn't exist. Okay, so then where is the skunk? Well, the skunk is in the first row. So it's in the first row, and it is in the second column. So again, remember to always go row first and then column second. All right, so we're going to print out the array. So I'll have the badger to take us through the code here. So we're going to start off at for int I equals 0. And I'll make the raccoon here be I. So I is going to start with the row at 0. We do the other loop. So then J, I'll make that be the dog, is going to start here at 0 for the columns. And then we go inside and we print what is in this location. So the location of I and J is a turtle. All right, then we move J on 1, then we print. So the thing that is in this next location, in the location 0, 1, is a turtle. We go up, we move over, and we print. And the thing that is in this location is a bunny. We go up, we go over, and we print. And the thing that is in this location is a bird. Okay, so now that we've made it to the end of the row, J has made it all the way to the end. So what happens now is we go out of that loop, we print lines, so we'd move down to this next line to print our next thing, and we go back up here. We go back up here, my apologies. And that means that the raccoon will move on to the next spot, then we go inside the loop. We move J back to the beginning and we start the entire process again. So first we print 1, 0, and that is a bunny. We move on J, and that is a hedgehog, I guess. And then we move on J, we move down and print, and that is a skunk. And then we move on J, we move down and print, and that is another hedgehog, we're calling that. Then we finish our loop with our J's, we print lines, we'd move down to the next line, and then we've also finished our other loop, so now we're finished printing out the array. All right, that's how we print it out. So if I want to switch a set of code from a one-dimensional array to a two-dimensional array, what I need to do is I need to add in a second for loop. So I add in the J for loop. And in that case, it's going to be J is less than column, and then J plus plus. That means I also have to add in my second dimension to my array references. And then I'll close off my other loop. So the big switch between a one-dimensional and a two-dimensional is that we're adding this other loop, and that adds the other references.